Well, this is Steve Areno live, back with you. I'm going to discuss today the weaknesses and strengths of our local law enforcement, including school administration for a variety of various sources. First, I want to discuss government lawyers. Why is it they have a secret language that you have to go to law school? Why is it that when they have their courts, the judge can decide, well, we won't have any videotaping here. In other words, we'll have a secret meeting. Secret meetings in a secret language that you have to go years of school that a common man can't defend himself or accuse somebody with. Sounds like a legally fixed system again, citizens. Now, we do need the police. They provide security, although it's a forced security, which is, in days past, it was good, but now it's become corrupt because they offer poor service. Every government agency provides poor service. That's pretty much everybody, all the red tape and on the telephones and all day long. And, oh, my goodness. Another area of poor service is the idea that the police used to be a restraining force to prevent mob rule. Now they have become the mob rule. In other words, mobs, they had this popular opinion thing, like some type of popular contest that was going on. Popularity contest, I mean. And what ended up happening is that people who were unpopular ended up getting suffering, and the people who were popular ended up oppressing the unpopular ones, whether it was an idea or... So civil rule came in place of mob rule or tribal rule to try to get a fair trial. Well, we now know that is no longer available. So for that reason, mob rule is in existence. The ethics of our current system is just horrible. The ones working for the government lawyers, like the police, have to kill their conscience, and they do this thing like the judge decided. It becomes too complicated, whether it's innocence or guilt. I'm just going to do my job and let the judge decide. Well, the government themselves, their own opinion of the legal system is negative. They know they can't produce justice all the time. Government lawyers will say it's a competition for who wins in the population. Besides stepping on the fire ants, our government has resorted to the corruption of giving each citizen too much power over another citizen. There's no reasonable way that one citizen should be able to just use testimony alone to testify against another citizen and condemn that citizen without any other further evidence. That's a corrupt. Even the Bible says two testimonies should condemn one. One against one is definitely out. Nobody can solve crime. Everybody knows that. All we can do is try to control it and manage it. And the best that we manage it is based upon results. If you look at the results, our government services aren't managing things very well at all. So how do we fix it? Well, we bring a balance of power back into the system, which is, on a local level, I'd say we should bring another 4 political parties to balance out the local powers.
Well, then the next step in the process was thinking, if they're treating animals like that, how are they treating people in this country? They obviously would treat an animal different than people, because of all these, very nice, upper class citizens that we have here that have good relations with everybody and, so they obviously would never treat Granny in such a negative manner as they would an animal, and use the laws against Granny. But lo and behold, Granny's rose bush grew too long last year, and they wrote her a ticket. She didn't pay the ticket because she thought it was ridiculous. She got arrested and put in jail for not paying the fine. So they're arresting. It was in the middle of a class that I was in, and later in life, a college class. And one day it hit me. It's very simple. We use our rules and our laws to imprison and exterminate ourselves from within. That's what we use our rules for. For example, animals. The good law is that we need safe animals, right? That's the good moral, right? Well, it's turned into a moral better a safe animal than a dead animal because they'll shoot them on sight, or they'll bring them to this humane society, that kind of deal, for most of them to get exterminated. So, the end result of this good moral law was the extermination of all the animals that were, and most of them weren't even, a threat at all. So, it was when I began to see, my God, this society, they think like this, and then you think about the extermination of the Indians and a variety of different, and then you kind of sort of step into a different perspective on what we do and who we are as a movement on this side of the globe. And, it's one of those things that if you don't sit and think for yourself, there's 100 people that want to think for you. They're out there trying to, like, give me a witness, and then, so on and so forth. And the next thing I saw was on TV somewhere in Texas. They had this Mormon, and I think Mitt Romney's Mormon, so that the Mormons have pushed their cause all the way. We're going to become president and change some of these Mormon laws. That's what's going on. But it was a Mormon person, and they lived in a kind of an isolated apartment complex, compound, whatever you want to call it, in Texas. And somebody called in an emotional phone call. Of course, persuasion is the foundation of legal law now in this country. So, if you're a good persuader, you're in good business. Because that's all it comes down to nowadays. But they got Granny, and they arrested Granny. I remember that. And then after they did that, they got this phone call, and they got all these people out of this religious compound under some kind of legal issue, I forget what, and arrested everybody. And, you see these mothers out there with their prairie dresses on there. They had some kind of religious thing where the women had to wear prairie dresses all the time, or at least longer dresses, women in dresses, men in long sleeve shirts, I'm pretty sure. But they had some kind of deal, and the kids had never watched TV, and they was eating off the vegetation on the land there. They grew their own food. They were trying to separate from the... What were they trying to separate from? If this is not a corrupt society, I don't know what they was trying to separate themselves from. Well, anyway, they got these people out and basically just ruined their lives. And I got to thinking, wow. First is the animals. Okay? Old Granny's puppy's getting killed, exterminated, because you couldn't afford to get the shots. The shots cost $80, and Granny hadn't had shots. Granny hadn't had an extra $80 in years. Goes for her medicine. So she has to lose her poodle because of this law. Now we need to wake up and get your ass out of bed right now and drink your ass some coffee in America. Because you ain't putting up with that kind of shit no more.